Hi there, in this video I'm going to be finally replacing the spark plugs in my Audi A4 B8 from 2010. It's a 2.0 turbo petrol and CDNC, I think it's the engine code. It has never had them replaced since I have it, and it's kind of due. As far as I'm aware, if you want to go fully stock, these are not exactly the plugs for you. They need to end in a 7 instead of 8 and a 7 in here. Depends if you are searching for stock number or part number from NGK, but anyway. I'm going with this because they are a step colder. I have a bit more boost in the engine, and I'm also planning a stage 2, and it seems that you want to go with these colder ones. And also I'm going to decrease the gap. I think they come pre-gapped at 0.8. I'm going to go to 0.65, but this iridium tip, it's extremely easy to damage, so I'm going to be really freaking careful while I'm re-gapping them. I will first check with this kind of gauges. This is all I have, so I'm going to set them to 0.8 and see if they fit. And actually I'm going to find out basically what they come gapped from factory at, and I'm going to readjust to 0.6. Do not do exactly what I'm doing to readjust them, honestly. If you damage the iridium tip, these things are gone and you cannot reuse them. The torque for reinstalling them, it's a bit weird. In some places I find it 0.20, actually no, not 0, sorry, 25 Newton meters, in others 27 Newton meters. Some swear they tighten them at 30 Newton meters. I'm going to go at about 25 Newton meters and recheck in, I don't know, 1,000 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, and see if they became even a little bit loose, and redo them at 0. Why do I keep saying 0? At 25 Newton meters. Anyway, so let's see for these things. Don't drop them. Okay, and I want to set my gauge and see what's the gap from factory in here. You know what? I might actually not touch them, because if I see correctly, so this 0.75 was not really entering, it was getting stuck immediately. At least on this one. I will check all of them to make sure they are the same, although normally most likely they should be the same. Now I have 0.7 total, so 0.5 plus 0.2, we are talking about millimeters here. And just look at it again, really easily. We don't want to damage that. It's barely going in there, so it's exactly at the limit. It's, yeah, maybe, yeah, I would say a 0.7, that's the gap. So 0.65, 0.7, I don't think it's worth the risk of damaging anything in there. I might directly install them as is, but I want to check all of them, just so you understand. So 0.75, it's literally not really wanting to go in there. Barely, it's going a tiny bit if it's exactly at the right angle, but it's not going more than that. So yeah, I would say they are at 0.7. What I'd be using to tighten and untighten, any random key, but this is from a Lidl set. I will link it in the description. It's a huge set, and it actually has exactly what we need for this, and it also has some rubber deep inside there. I don't think you can see it. Maybe, let me help you. Some light in here. You can see that rubber right there that grips nicely onto this thing. So when you lift it, it will actually pull it out, which is perfect, honestly. So yeah, for undoing, and then for tightening, I'll be tightening with this, which can go up to 24, but it still has a little bit of line higher. So I went one more time from 0 to 0, so in theory this is at 25. Yes, it's not how you should be doing it, but even 24 would be at the limit if I check in a few thousand kilometers. I think we have 25 honestly here, but it's not rated, so yeah, give or take. I think I can handle that. Problem is obviously loosey-goosey in here, so I need to do some adapting. I didn't realize that this will be really small compared to this, so yeah, no bueno. And here we are at the car. Engine cover is already off. You just lift it. It has just some places where it clips into, nothing interesting. And we need to unplug this, and I think they kind of lift off, but don't break them. So just a tiny bit, and then you pull on this thing. Yes, you need to unlock all of them, and this whole rail needs to come slightly off, so we have a free area here to be able to pull these things. It wasn't properly moving, and then I saw this fellow. Totally forgot about it. Oh, I need something bigger than this to undo it. It's a Torx, what are you, T30. If yours are as stuck as mine, after lifting that thingy, keep it lifted with something, and like this, just put something in here and wiggle it, and it will come loose. Yeah, don't make sure you don't break the plastic, so don't exaggerate. Try to use something maybe even wider than this, but yeah, that seems to be doing the trick. Lifting and putting something in here for the initial wiggle, and then they will slowly come out. But you need to do all of them a tiny bit and go like this. You cannot do one fully because this will not allow you to. They are all out. There's barely enough room because of these things, so don't try to push too much in here. You might break this and then you will have a bad day. So they are at the limit, and now these things in theory, yeah, not coming out. Maybe you can pry them somehow with your hand if you insist. I'm going to try on one, but most likely it will not come out. As you can see, it's not allowing you to rotate it, maybe just a tiny bit. Let me try and pry one out with my hand, and if not, I will go to plan B. So this is plan B. I couldn't do it by hand. These were again not taken out in a really long time. This is what I made for the Skoda Octavia. I don't know if I filmed the video. I needed to replace one of the coils, and yeah, somehow it has a bit of legs. In those it fits much better than in here, but at the limit I can put it under, and when I smack this in here slowly and go around, so a bit on this side, a bit on this side, until I work it loose, I should be able to pull them out. But again, don't break the plastic. Just some bent metal and the weight. Anyway, maybe again on yours you can just pull them out by hand or make a leverage somehow, but yeah, it is plastic. If you break them, you pay them, so yeah. And I was able to yank it out. Yes, it doesn't come out easily. It has this seal right here, so it's rubber, this whole part. So I think it kind of makes a vacuum in there. Some residue, interesting. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. Anyway, but we see the spark plug, so now let's remove it with the tool from Lidl. They are all out, and I can tell you for a fact that I couldn't have done it without this thingy. So in my case they were really tight. Maybe you are luckier. Now let's see if this works. Is the wall too thick for my engine? That would be a big problem. That would be a really big problem, because the other one probably also is similar. Or nah, it went down. I just needed to push it a bit, so it's really freaking tight. Yeah, it's going down. Okay, now how tight are these fellows? We'll see. I also need to check the key that I intend to tighten with, because if this one doesn't enter, then I cannot do the torque setting. Yeah, it's locked in there. Now wiggle it around to get it out, and it also comes out. Whew, okay, but it's really tight in there. You know what? It is tight, but not extremely tight. So okay, hopefully we are going to be seeing in any moment now the first spark plug. And again, they haven't been changed in a really long time. Weirdly enough, engine was still running absolutely perfectly. No sign of old sparks not firing properly or something. Are we not done with the thread yet? Now we are. They are not looking bad, are they? I don't know if they are supposed to have the oil that they have right here on the thread. Not sure how obvious it is, but this electrode is quite consumed, so the gap is significantly larger than it should be. As much as I can, I'm cleaning the oil from that area by slowly putting this in and then pushing it with this. But I just want to warn you, you have a big gaping hole directly into the cylinder. If you drop anything in there, you are screwed. And I mean, you are really screwed. You cannot get it out unless you take this thing apart. So yeah, not fun, but be very careful. Okay, put the new plug in here. This is as clean as I was comfortable making it without risking anything. Yes, camera will not focus on the bottom of it, but it is what it is. Shouldn't have anything where this tightens and shouldn't have oil on the thread anymore, I hope. So yeah, lower this in place easily, don't damage anything. For me it's a bit harder because I'm also filming. Up and find the thread and only loosely tighten it because we will torque it as it needs to be torqued. And now I need to do this 3 more times, and at the end we will torque all of them. Something that I did, could be smart, could be stupid. I moistened the end of this with a bit of saliva and just gathered all I could from that edge, and you can see it right here. And there are even some shiny bits, which I think are actually from the thread of the plug itself. So yeah, I don't want that in the engine. Maybe there's another way with a vacuum or something, but I don't have anything that small to go in there. For the last one, I'm actually using something else to undo it. I was pulling really strong on this. I don't think it will break even if I rotate it stronger, but that one is much tighter than the other 3. This one is not happy, squeaking all the way, so something happened in here. Not even now. I hope somebody didn't cross-thread this thing. Now we can switch back to the tool. If it's cross-threaded, that's gonna be a world of pain. But I don't think. I think it just somehow tightened a lot by itself, or somebody maybe at a point in time changed them and torqued them by hand, which is not normal and not good, but who knows. This is the abomination that I'm using to torque this. Again, I went to 24 and then one more spin all around. So in theory I did one more Newton meter, but this normally is only up to 24. So I'm just guessing that I'm at 25. I think I am, but I can never know for sure. And now let's do this and see how it goes. Up until now everything is going exactly as planned. Waiting for that click. Kind of hard to do with one hand, so probably I will stop filming just to be sure I don't damage anything, because I cannot keep it centered with one hand. Just so you can hear it work. But I'm not doing this again, I'm using both hands from now on. And yes, I went back to 24, tightened it, and then went to 25, and it actually rotated it a tiny bit before clicking. So yeah, I think we are at 25. Yeah, I went to what should be 25 and a half, just to be sure. Half of Newton meter over shouldn't create an issue, but yeah, anyway, maybe I shouldn't have, but it's done now. Now I'm putting a bit of silicone grease with the tip of actually the end of a brush just at this end a tiny bit, maybe 1 centimeter in slightly from the coil pack, because we want it to seal on this and not be on the electrical part itself, which is deep in there at the end. So just have it here and that should be fine. At this point, again, 2 of them are already in. I tried to change their position. Could be smart, could be dumb, or could not matter at all. I have no idea, but yeah, they need to be lowered in place, but I really cannot do this with one hand, or can I? I also don't want to damage anything, so there's that. And it's in place, so now I just need to make sure I get this where it needs to go. And 1 more to go. So again, I changed their position randomly. And now slowly begin to put these plugs in. That one has the plastic cracked in there, so I need to be careful. As you can see, doesn't want to go in. I need to put something underneath it. It's the plastic that locks in the wires, the pins, the headers, actually, not the pins, because this has the pins. So yeah, they are old, freaking old, but if I put something underneath it until it starts to go in, it will be okay. And it started to go in, so now this is basically holding it in position. There will be no issues. Slowly pushing all of these things until they will end up clipping in place. All of them clipped in place. Make sure you can hear them click. If they don't make a click, they are not all the way in, but all 4 clicked. Now we can tighten this little screw right here, and that concludes the operation. Now we can go and start the engine and hope it actually runs. Let's see. It could start right up and work perfectly, or might not start. Hope we did everything right and all is fine. Running just fine. Yeah, and I need to clear that. And this is the exact order the spark plugs came out in. So only this one was a bit more smoke in my opinion, but all of them have bigger gaps than they should have. I'm not even going to bother measuring because it doesn't matter anymore. And I'm back a good while later, a few weeks. I don't know exactly how much, I didn't check. The car is running absolutely perfectly. Yes, the fact that the timing chain and accessories, belt and whatnot were also changed most likely has a good impact on this, that makes things go really well. But spark plugs are also great, so for sure we didn't do anything bad. And I do think they needed to be changed, as you could see the gap was getting bigger and parts were beginning to go missing from them. So yeah, and that's about it for the video. So if anybody has any question, feel free to ask in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, that really helps a lot for other Audi videos. And as always, see you in the next one. Bye.